to the Miracles Podcast.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Sophia, and today we're going to be talking about miracles from heaven.
Our main focus is what do we do when our prayers go unanswered?
And what if a miracle wasn't just about healing, but how it teaches us about faith? This movie is a powerful, emotionally driven film based on the true story of the Beam family. The main characters are Christy Beam, the mother, who is played by Jennifer Gardner, Anna Beam, which is the daughter, who is played by Kylie Rogers, and Kevin Beam, the father, who is played by Martin Henderson.
Miracles from Heaven is an inspiring faith-based film that is focused on the Beam family. At the heart of the story is Christy Beam, the mother, who is played by Jennifer Gardner, and her daughter, Anna Beam, who is diagnosed with a rare, incurable digestive disorder. As Anna's condition quickly worsens, Christy does everything in her power to find answers, all while wrestling with her faith, fear, and frustration, and a deeper struggle with her faith. Anna falls 30 feet into a hollow tree, a fall that should have killed her. Instead, she survives without a single serious injury, and even more amazingly, she's suddenly healed of her illness. Anna later shares that during the fall, she visited heaven and spoke with Jesus.
This movie doesn't just focus on a physical miracle. It's about the emotional and the spiritual journey of a family, the power of prayer, and how God can work through both tragedy and community. It's a moving reminder that miracle doesn't always look the way we expect it to, and that faith can be found even in the darkest moments.
One of the most prominent Christian themes in this film is the battle between hope and despair. Christy, a mother who is overwhelmed by her daughter's suffering, her prayers seem to go unanswered. And as she begins to drift away from the church and her previous trust in God, this reflects a common human experience. When trial comes, faith is often tested. But as the movie shows, Christian hope isn't only based on visible outcomes, but based on trusting God's presence in the midst of uncertainty.
Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5 remind us that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character hope. Christy's journey mirrors that truth. Despite her doubts, she continues to fight for Anna and ultimately witnesses a miracle that restores both her daughter's health and her own faith. This movie also deals deeply with how Christians are called to respond to suffering. Christy's initial reaction is frustration with doctors, the church, and even God. But through her struggle, she learns that suffering can lead to transformation. In Catholic teaching, suffering can be redempted with united with Christ's own sacrifice.
Jesus said in Luke chapter 9, verse 23, "If anyone wants to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily." Christy lives this call and how she carries Anna's burden alongside her. Over time, she comes to see the grace that's hidden even in pain, whether it's the kindness of strangers or the strength of her own perseverance.
Christy also embodies Christian virtue of self-sacrificial love. She gives everything, time, money, energy, and emotional strength to help Anna. This reflects Christ's sacrificial love for humanity.
In John 15:13, Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends." Though not physically dying, Christy lays down her life for her daughter each day, even when the outcome is unclear.
Her character reminds us that Christian love also involves great cost, but also great reward.
This is my favorite scene in the movie because it is a perfect parallel to Mary at the foot of Jesus' cross, knowing her son is in unimaginable pain and there's nothing she could do about it. Just as Christy is at the foot of the tree her daughter is in, not knowing if she is alive and feeling so hopeless, but she falls to her knees and prays as her family joins in with her.
Christy's moral dilemma is clear. Should she keep fighting for Anna's treatment even when all medical hope seems to be gone? Or should she accept the suffering and let it go? Her decision to push forward despite doctors' skepticism and emotional toll shows moral courage and faith. Her actions align with Catholic values which uphold the dignity of human life and the importance of seeking healing when it's possible.
He told me I'd be fine.
Who told you you'd be fine?
The film treats Christians' characters with respect and depth. Christy's struggle is real, not sugar-coated, and her renewed faith feels authentic, not forced. Her transformation shows that doubt doesn't cancel belief. It often strengthens it.
This is something as a Christian I feel we can all relate to. When hard things happen to us or we go through difficult times in life, it's easy to just blame God and say, why is this happening to me? But as we see, actually, Christy does that in the movie, and she turns away from him, and then she quickly realizes that there's nothing that in her power she could do, and so she turns back to God and asks for his help, asks for his guidance, which we saw in the scene previous to this of her on her knees at the foot of the tree and saying an Our Father.
Yeah, and although Anna is young, she has a profound sense of peace after her near-death experience, and she talks about how heaven, Jesus, and healing in a way that feels simple yet profound. And this reminds viewers in faith that it's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, tested, and seems personal.
Sometimes Jesus can be right next to us, and just because he's not yelling in our ears doesn't mean he's not there.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Christian-based movies. I like how it shows both sides of faith, not just that Christians and Catholics are supposed to hold on to their faith no matter what happens to them, because it shows more of a real, authentic side of what Christianity and Catholicism is like. When we go through something hard, it's not easy to just be have faith in something that you can't see. We can't see God working for us. We can't always see the plan that he has for our life. It's so easy to fall out of trust and love for God in those difficult times. But we see her, the mother, she falls out of this trust that she had with God, and even the whole family does, because they're seeing their sibling or their daughter go through this really difficult time in her life, and it's hard to trust in something that you can't always see. But Christy starts to get back into her faith and realize that it's something bigger than her. She can't fix her daughter, and she has to rely on something bigger than her. And a scene that I really love is whenever she's down in the tree and she touches that butterfly and goes to heaven, and God is like, it's not your time yet, you're not supposed to be here. And it really just shows me as a viewer that, God has this plan for us. He has our whole life laid out in front of us, and we just can't see it. It's not meant for us to see, it's meant for him. And, we just have to trust in his plan, and that's exactly what they show us in this movie.
Yeah, and going off that, going through struggling, and when you struggle so much, it leads to so much more, because then you find who you really are as that type of person. And when Anna goes through this, once she gets out of it, she becomes so much more powerful and strong, and she knows her purpose in life because God told her that. And those struggles really build up who you are and who you are going to become as a person. So their family really needed to go through this to find who God is and keep their path and end up in heaven later.